Hi guys, this is Klazart and welcome to the Korean Air OSL Finals 2010, played on the 22nd of May 2010, just yesterday actually, on Saturday, between Flash and Effort, in what has been a season that I think you can call historic in every sense and intonation of the word. It's been historic for the scandal, for some brilliance. It's been historic because probably there's a good chance that this might very well be the last big season of the Korean Star Leagues. I mean, you could argue that with StarCraft 2 around the corner less than a month from now, there might just be about room for one more season for a last dying hurrah for StarCraft Brood War in the pro scene before really StarCraft 2 dominates. So the chances are probably that the moment StarCraft 2 comes out, it's going to dominate the scene, and this might very well be Brood War's last hurrah. And I think who better to usher it in than probably Flash, who has represented the Brood War scene so well recently, I guess you couldn't expect to want a different or a better player in the finals. And really, this is Flash versus Effort, but Effort might feel a little bit of a sideshow in proceedings right now because all of the attention is going to be on Flash and whether or not he can achieve something historic and really capture the imaginations of the fans after what has been a disappointing emergence of reality for StarCraft fans all around the world. This first game of a best-of-5 series is being played on match point. We've got Effort in the top right-hand corner of the map at the 1 o'clock position, playing Zerg obviously in white, and we've got Flash at the bottom left-hand corner at the 5 o'clock position, playing Terran in brown. This is actually a rematch. Apparently, there was some technical issue when this game was played initially, and I just really skipped through that because I'd heard that there was actually going to be a rematch of the first session. Don't worry, I haven't spoiled the series for myself otherwise, but it did look like Effort had a slight, but certainly not commanding, certainly not a lead that you would say would be enough to grant him a victory, and so for whatever reason they've decided to replay it again, and it'll be interesting to see how both players respond to that. Flash, of course, has a chance to make history here, and a lot of you guys have been PMing me and leaving messages. First of all, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys who've left your messages of support. I really appreciate it, and I will, as I go through this set of commentaries for this best-of-5 series, I will attempt to answer your questions. Looks like Effort's got his second Overlord out. It'll be interesting to see what he goes for here, whether he goes for a 12 pool or goes for a 12 hash. Now, I have to be honest with you guys, I'm quite rusty. I haven't been following StarCraft as well this season because of time constraints as I would like to, so I'm unfamiliar and not caught up really with the current trends and strategies and really what these players have been up to this season, apart from, of course, Flash's unyielding dominance of the scene. It looks like Effort has gone for a 12 pool. Meanwhile, Flash has walled off his main with a barracks and supply depot successfully. Effort trying to get in there, sneak that drone through, but he's not going to be able to, it looks like, so far. And it is going to be interesting how this game plays out and how the psychology is going. I mean, the Flash has got his refinery up as well. Effort getting his natural expo up and running, and this seems to be something new. This idea of putting laptops up, that's interesting. Someone using a laptop to put up signs. I wonder if we're going to see that when the iPads become ubiquitous. If they do, if they become another killer app, are we going to see, or another killer product? Are we going to see them all over and people using them to put up signs in tournaments of various sports? I think that'll be interesting, and I guess a lot of my female friends are going to be waiting for the iPad version with wings. Sorry, I know it's terrible. It's a horrible, horrible joke, but it had to be said, and I blame Apple. And you guys can as well. Anyway, it looks like Flash has managed to sneak that SCV out through to scout his opponent without letting that drone in, and meanwhile Flash putting his factory down. He's only using the one SCV to mine the gas though, so it looks like he would probably be looking to get a command center down after this. Effort, meanwhile, I think has put that spawning pool down. He's just got his spawning pool up now, so he's gone for a 2-hatchery build so far, and it'll be interesting if he goes for a 2-hash mutalist. Flash, of course, is a kind of player who at one point in his career was vulnerable to kind of a 2-hatch muta type strategy. Effort trying to get that Overlord into scout, but Flash has got that Marine out. He's going to usher that Overlord away, and this is a very, very small thing, guys. It's a very small thing that you watch in every single StarCraft match that you've probably watched play, but it's the positioning. If Flash had, say, been an amateur like me and plonk that factory down just in the middle of his base. That Overlord floating over the ridge might just have caught a glimpse of it and given his opponent a clue as to what he was up to. Flash was starting up his Natural Expo. But the fact that Flash is positioned where it has means that it's quite a distance away from a scouting Overlord, and of course there are other intricacies to base placement which would afford him an advantage from placing it there. But the fact of the matter is that it's just these little things that the pros do that sometimes you wouldn't think of, that actually have layers upon layers of meaning and that can affect the gameplay. That Overlord not really getting a lot of valuable scouting information. He's seen that Natural Expo go up, I'm sure. Flash, meanwhile, building an armory because I think he's gotten that SCV in there, and I think he scouted out that his opponent is probably going to get those Mutalisks out, so he's getting that armory down to potentially get some Valkyries out, or even some Goliaths as a defense. I'm not sure who that is in the crowd, but a Cloud hanging a little bit over effort as well. I mean, I know the elephant, the pink elephant, the big pink elephant in the room is Savior. The player of whom I am one of the biggest fans and have been a big fan of a long time. And Effort, of course, being a protege of Savior, being on the CJ team. And yeah, we've seen that Spire go down from Effort, and Flash anticipating brilliantly that's exactly what Effort's going to do. He's got his armory up. Effort, meanwhile, with a Hireless Den going out as well, because he's seen that scout come in, so he's putting that Hireless Den down potentially for a switch up. Meanwhile, we're seeing the first Vulture come out from Flash. He's actually got 2 Vultures out, so this could be a little bit dangerous for Effort. He's got that one sunken down though, so he should be comfortable enough, and he's now putting that Evolution Chamber down as well to make sure that no Vultures sneak through, because Vultures, if they get behind the Zerg lines this early in the game, they can wreak absolute havoc on the Zerg economy. But Effort should be just fine for now. He's got the Hireless Den up as well. Of course, he's not going to really be able to catch Flash by surprise regardless of what he does. I mean, he could potentially try and sneak up a few Hireless, and he's got that Hireless Den now, so even though these Vultures are hammering away at those buildings at the exterior of Effort's base, even though Flash's Vultures are doing a little bit of attacking, they're not really going to be able to inflict any sustained damage. The fact that he hasn't transformed those larvae yet suggests to me that he looks like he might be going for Mutalisks, because if he was going to put some Hireless out and make a switch to Hireless now would be the time to do it. But I guess he's not going to do that. He's got that Spire out, and he's probably going to get the Mutalisks out, so he will be effectively getting 3 hatch Mutas going. Mutalisks from those 3 hatcheries. But of course, the flip side of that, the flip side of getting that 3rd hatchery down in terms of that, it does mess with your timings just that little bit. And for, say, going for that 12 hatch rather than perhaps going for an overpool or perhaps even a 12 pool, the disadvantage of that is that those Mutalisks are going to be a little bit slower in coming out, which means that your Harass is going to arrive a little bit later and give the Terran player that much longer to get his defenses in line. And Flash now has 2 factories up and running. He hasn't gone for a starport, he hasn't gone for Valks. He's got the machine shop, he's got a couple of Goliaths out, he's got turrets out, and it's going to be incredibly difficult for Effort to inflict any serious economic damage. And as he comes in with those Mutalisks, he's going to run into a wall of Goliath missiles and be forced to retreat, and you can just see that Effort isn't happy about this. I wonder if it's playing on his mind the fact that he perhaps was ahead in the first game and that was cancelled. But yeah, as I said, there is a little bit of a cloud hanging over Effort in terms of being Savior's protege, and the fact that Savior has let everyone down in such a massive way. I have to be honest with you guys, Savior is sort of the pantomime villain of StarCraft. I mean, in Korean culture, he was the bad guy when he was dominating and beating everyone, and I have to be honest with you guys, there was an arrogance about Savior that was one of the main reasons why we loved him so much. We loved the fact that he was amazing and knew it and didn't care. He didn't care if people thought he knew it. We loved the fact that and looks like Effort is actually sneaking up a drone here to the 12 o'clock position, trying to take another base here, while he feels that he has Flash trapped a little bit, and he is indeed making that switch to Hireless, but Flash is going to spot that with the Vultures. So Flash is going to spot that, and Flash immediately, and oh, that was a crucial turning point in that game. Flash was moving out with those Goliaths, thinking that he didn't have much to contend with, but those Hireless, of course, Flash was aware that the Hireless were a possibility because of the Hireless Den being put down, but Flash immediately putting those guys back. If Effort had been able to catch them out in the open field, he might have been able to inflict a lot more damage, but now Flash is going to be able to get some more defenses in there and concentrate his defenses at the front. At his natural, he's putting a couple of Spider Mines down as well with those Vultures, just to delay Effort down, but of course Effort does have that Overlord there, so he should be able to see them. Effort bringing the Mutalisks in, he's going to try and do a